with another Talk It Out session with Kristen. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, it's Christine Edwards. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. I'm super excited about the topics of the evening. We plan to really get into some good stuff today. The first thing I want to do, of course, is let you introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, what you do, all that good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. If you have any issues with sound, visual, just let me know. I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. So I'm Christine Edwards. I am the owner and principal consultant at Amplify Community Consulting, and we work under a brand called Amplify Charlotte. And what we do is we do business-to-business consulting for community engagement needs, whether it be public opinion polling, like taking surveys, setting up community engagement sessions and feedback sessions. And so we've been doing that since 2018, and we've gotten most of our business through the competitive bidding process through local governments. And so through that process, I learned how to navigate, competitive bidding. And then my friends and my colleagues and my business partners would ask me, how did you get these contracts? How did you learn how to do this? And so that's when I started to instruct and to advise other small businesses, other minority-owned businesses on how to win contracts too.
Yes, and y'all, we're going to drop all the tea tonight between 6 and 7 of how you can get more information about getting certified. In addition, how you can get more information about just really utilizing your sources within the Charlotte metro area, especially to either start your business or grow your business. So we're looking forward to talking some of those things today. But the first thing we want to talk about is what we drinking on, because as you guys know, this is a virtual happy hour, and it's not a happy hour without a drink. Sure. So I'm going to let Ms. Edwards tell us what she is drinking on tonight for our virtual happy hour.
So I just have a red wine blend. I know it's not fall yet, but I don't think you can go wrong with a nice chilled red wine. And this is just a blend between Syrah, Malbec, and something else. It's called Hybrid. And so it's just a red wine blend, and it's real good.
Oh, see, you fancy. I don't even want to share my drink no more. Like, I feel like, but I don't feel like my drink's sophisticated enough. Well, my name is Brandy. All I have is a little Jack honey and ginger ale.
That sounds good.
It's delicious. It ain't Bon Sway, but it do the job.
That sounds
but
good.
I want to go into, of course, our cocktail of the day. So basically what I try to do is give out a recipe of a cocktail that you can make yourself. If you are interested in getting this emailed to you, in addition to some of the information that we're going to share on today's post, be sure to either DM me, Brandy Fox, or if you're cool with it, you can put your email in the comment box, and I will be sure to add you to the email list to be able to get this information. We're trying to get as many businesses certified, started, and rolling as we can in the Charlotte metro area and hopefully the nation. And this video is the start. So the cocktail of the day is called a painkiller. Painkiller includes 3 shots of a dark or gold tequila, 2.5 ounces of pineapple juice, 1 shot of orange juice, and 1 shot of coconut cream. Shake that thing up real good. Boom. And you have a painkiller. It has a great taste based on the reviews. I have not tried it, but I will definitely be sure to try it. So now that we got the drinking part out the way, the fun stuff, we're going to roll right into the serious stuff. The information that we want other African-American entrepreneurs, all entrepreneurs, but of course our African-American entrepreneurs, to be able to start and grow your existing business. So the topics of the day are how to overcome the fear of entrepreneurship. That is the title. I know for me, being in the consulting business, a lot of people that I talk to or people that reach out to me, the first thing they say is, I have a business idea, I know what I want to do, or they'll let me know a talent that they have that they're kind of doing for free right now, which I think is crazy, which is cool. No, it's cool because you got to start somewhere. But if you have the opportunity to monetize what you're doing, why not do that? So, Kristen, why don't you tell us a little bit more about some of the ways that people can overcome the fear of jumping right into entrepreneurship and starting a business that they're looking to start?
Absolutely. So one of the things that I tell people about, if they want to go into business, if they want to go after contracts, you really have to have two things. You have to have relationships, and then you have to have results. You got to have relationships with the people that you want to serve. You have to have relationships with the people that you look up to. And you've got to have an interpersonal relationship with yourself to really understand what is it that you want to do in your business. And and then the second part around results is before you even go sell anything for a monetary exchange, you can get a result just through a volunteer basis, right? You can get a result for someone just by doing something for a friend or a family member. So if you want to become a beautician, your results are from, you braiding hair or you washing hair, styling hair. And so those are the results that you need. And so I just tell folks, before you go after contract opportunities or before you even register your business entity, try to think of 3 results that you have gotten from different stages of your business. So again, we'll use the beautician example. Do you have 3 clients whose hair you've braided? So those are your 3 relationships and your results. And then after that, you really just have to think about what's your why. And if it doesn't work out in the beginning, are you really going to stick with it? And is your why strong enough? Is your purpose strong enough to actually get you over that hump of that first 1 or 2 or 10 failures?
And that is a fact. Everything you said, I totally agree with. You got to be prepared. And I think self-preparation, like you said, is definitely the key. But in addition, you got to look at your market as well when you're thinking about the fears. I know I see a lot of different posts. Like, I follow so many entrepreneur pages, and it's so funny because they kind of conflict. I watch some pages and they'll be all motivational, inspirational all day, which I think is good because as an entrepreneur, you need that, especially when you have a fear of something. Seeing that kind of gives you that extra pump to be I can do it. But then I think sometimes it can be paralyzing because it doesn't depict the real picture of what entrepreneurship is and what goes into it. And I think, of course, some things you can't learn without experience, but I feel kind of like what you said, if you prepare, you know what I'm saying, whether that be your own research, getting the help of somebody else, then that'll help you have the opportunity to kind of deal with those fears and prepare for them so you know that they won't be as much of a barrier for you when you get started.
That's true.
So what were some of your fears getting into entrepreneurship? When you first thought, you know what, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to do my own thing. What are some things that you kind of feared?
So I have irrational fears that I know will never happen because I have a strong support system. But I feel like we all go to that what's the worst that could happen point of, and Brandy, I'm really new at this. You are the expert here. I'm really, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have,
That loosely.
and I started my business in 2018. So I've been doing this for about 2 years, but for a long time, for the first 2 years, honestly, I kept my day job and I felt like that was a smart thing to do. However, very recently, the ink is still drying on this decision. I recently left my full-time job. And
come on, we out here stepping out on faith. Okay.
So there's a lot of fear involved with that. And so somebody asked me, Christine, what's the worst that could happen? And I'm thinking, well, I could end up homeless and not have anywhere to stay and broke.
She went all the way.
And had to go into bankruptcy and like seriously, that's where
she went all the way down. You went all the way down the rabbit hole. You ain't take no stops or nothing.
But truly, after you leave a situation where I left employment, the worst that could happen is full-time employment, right? So you have to think about like what you really want out of your business and what kind of lifestyle that you want and how you want to serve your people and serve your customers. And if I know that I can't maintain a traditional job while doing this, then I need to make a decision. And so I kind of got over it by honestly just faith. It was faith in God and just knowing that I have an awesome family that is going to support me. And again, it's only been a couple of years, but my business, Amplify Charlotte, is so specific to Charlotte, and it's specific to this particular market. So I feel like I'm like wrapped up in a little cocoon of safety because of all the different business partners and people that I know here. So just kind of thinking about who you can lean on for support and who you go to for inspiration. And then that's a really good way to get over that fear.
Definitely. Inspiration is key. And I think that goes back to some of the things that I know I did when I was trying to transition to a better mindset was like cleaning up my social media. I know people kind of overlook it, and I know people make announcements about it, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like if you legit want to kind of like change your mind space, it kind of focuses on what you see on a daily basis. So, you know, things that I felt like didn't pertain to me anymore or people, all that kind of stuff. I took the opportunity to kind of unfollow those things and really start following things that tied more to what was important to me. Family, God, business, and like traveling, you know, that's on there. So like when I start following these pages, like it just kind of motivates me. So like when I get up in the morning and I see a post like, you can do anything today you put your mind to, I'm like, you know what? I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So I think getting that mind space together to stay in a positive mindset, even when things go wrong, because they do go wrong, things get crazy, out of your control, but you got to stay in control. And of course, higher power. I know for me, I'm a Christian, so God is my higher power, but whatever that might be to you, that's something you want to tap into because you're going to need it because this entrepreneur journey is a food.
It is. I would definitely say, I mean, I'm like a lifelong student. So even after school, I went to grad school because I felt like that was the next step. But even after that,
me too.
I stay learning, right? And so I'm always signing up for the next class or whatever it is. And I think that's actually how we met, because when I decided to go into entrepreneurship, I said, well, what kind of accelerator program can I get into? And a lot of people think that like accelerators are just for tech businesses and they're just for businesses that, you know, want to get bought out or investor ready businesses. But truly, I think that these programs that teach you about mentorship, they teach you about a business model, they teach you about customers, those are so valuable. And you don't have to like be creating an app to get into one of these programs. It's almost like getting an MBA, you know?
and girl, getting an MBA in 8 weeks.
There you go.
Literally, girl, crash course.
Yes, learn the language.
Exactly. And, you know, dropping a plug just because I can honestly say that this program was a catalyst in me transitioning my business to just be a better business. And that would be, of course, you know, what we know each other, City Startup Labs. Yep. With Mr. Henry Rock. Definitely was clutch course. I really enjoyed it. It gave me the opportunity for the first time to really think outside of the box in my business, because I can honestly say when I got into that program, I was kind of in the transition roles. Like I had just left my full-time job as a social worker. So, you know, that government check was coming in every other week. I'm like, yes. And then you go from every other week to like, I hope somebody book a massage like soon, like today, right now. You know, it was kind of like a transition. So I was like, I was in the same place, you know, just trying to figure out, did I make the best decision when I left? You know, I felt like I did. And usually I'm pretty confident in the decisions I made. But, you know, I think that's where that fear kicked in. And I think for me, my biggest fear is like not reaching my full potential. I think that's what gets me, like not really fear of failing. I don't mind failing. Like I jump out there and take an L and bounce back. I don't really trip about that. But I think it's the fear of like not like knowing how big I can go or how much I can do or how much I can impact people and not being able to do that to the capacity of the way I want to do it. So, you know, I think we all have our fears in entrepreneurship. You know, you talked about some of yours, and I know that's mine. But I think at the end of the day, the bottom line, the foundation is, you know, you can overcome it. If you really want the end results, if you really want to grow your business, if you want to take your idea and make it a business, you can legit do it. And it's people out here that can help you do it. You got Kristen over here that can help you if you already are a business to get certified. And we'll talk more about certification and the minority certification, what that would look like. And then, you know, for me would be the entrepreneur. Anybody that's just thinking about a business or you don't even know if it can be profitable, I can help you get started, or I can help you revamp what you already have to help it be profitable and help you get all your foundational things out the way. But we'll get into that a little later. We're going to transition right into the next part of our discussion, which is what are some tips that you think can help somebody who is ready to start a business? What are some key tips that you think?
Somebody who's ready to start a business.
Well, how to prepare yourself. Like, what are some things that you did or would you suggest people do? Like, if they like, I want to start it, what would you suggest for them?
Just ask themselves a lot of questions like, who do you want to serve? And then try to visualize, literally visualize, and maybe even draw a little picture, right, of your ideal customer. And then literally, like, you can literally just kind of visualize a certain scenario of who you want your customer to be and how you want your customer interactions to go. And then you start to build your building blocks from there. And one of the things that I've learned over the past years is that branding and marketing is important, but it's not as important as getting your first customer. Okay? And I did it all wrong because I started my business through a grant. And I was very lucky, very blessed, going all the way back to 2018. The year before, I actually was denied that grant. So this was my second time applying. And then I won it in 2018, and it was actually $5,000.
Come on, Favor.
Right. And so I had a lot to work with. And I said, wow, $5,000, what can I do with that? And so immediately I got business cards. I got my URL, I got my website up, and I got
taking care of business.
Yeah, I got some pins, you know. And so
let them know, Amplify up in the house. When you sign this contract, it's an Amplify contract.
There you go. And so, but it all looked nice on the outside, but I hadn't actually talked to anybody. You know what I mean? Because I had money up front, so I hadn't actually talked to anybody. And so I think that when it comes to actually getting your first paid customer, you really need to just kind of go out and start talking to people. I guess a more tangible tip could be go on LinkedIn and see if there are any competitors or people who are doing something similar to what you do. And my thing is community over competition. So don't be afraid to reach out to them and just say, hey, you know, I would love to, you know, talk to you about how you started your business, that type of thing. How did you get in this industry? How did you get in this field? And so it's okay to go and look at comparable, you know, businesses and see how you can compare to them. So that was, let me go back. So that's visualize who your customer is, literally visualize it. Number 2 was marketing, branding, getting your name, website, that stuff is important. But then also going on LinkedIn and really actually look at people who are already doing the stuff that you want to do. And then see how they move and see how they operate. I think like customer feedback or surveys are really good too, and just talk to people and say, hey, I mean, you can literally just put it on your Facebook and say, hey, if I was going to start selling lotion, how much would you pay for it? You know,
for free, girl, for free. You can get the answer to this for free.
Market research right there. Market research. Also, you want to get plugged into who your who your resources are. Like if you, let's say with the lotion example, where are you going to get it from? How are you going to package it? How much is it going to cost up front? And then you get into this whole conversation around pricing. I think your customer will decide that for you. So,
and your market.
Yeah, your market will decide that for you. But I do want to touch on consulting, because we're gonna switch over to talking about contracts and consulting. So products versus services is different. So when it comes to services, your pricing is going to be a lot different. You can choose to you can choose to do hourly rates if you want, and you want to think about, you know, how much is your time really worth. You know, when I was first starting out as a contractor, they were saying take your rate at your day job and double it, and that could be your first hourly rate as a consultant. And I'll tell you now, that's what so in my day job I was getting roughly $25-30 an hour, and so then I doubled it, and so my consultant rate was $60 an hour.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad at all, but in the consultant world, that is cheap.
It is, but it's a good starting point. I think everything is like a starting point.
It is, yeah. And so that's a really good starting point. So those are the things you want to think about.
Exactly. And I loved it. You literally covered everything that you need to do. And just to put it in a order for you guys, basically the first thing you want to do is start with yourself. Make sure you're physically, mentally, your life environment. If you just had a baby, is this ideal time? Can you handle a new baby? Can you handle, you know, new responsibilities, virtual learning, staying at home with the kids, and starting a business? You just got to be realistic. That doesn't mean you can't start your business at all. That just means you need to be a little bit more conscious about the time that you have, because I feel like when you start a business, it's literally like having another child. Like, you got to love it, nurture it, spend time with it. Think about it when you go to sleep. It's almost like love. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get it together and pull it together, so that way you know if you're ready. Real talk. After you figure out that you are ready, you roll right into that market research. What's going on in the market? And Kristen made a good point. LinkedIn is the perfect place for you to be. If you are a professional, LinkedIn is a social media site for business owners, B2B, business to business sellers, and B2C, business to consumer sellers. So whether you're selling your product to another business or directly to the consumer, LinkedIn is where you want to be. I think, I don't want to lie, I'm going to look it up, but it's a certain percentage of millionaires that are on LinkedIn. I don't know about y'all, but these are the people that I'm trying to get connected to. And I'm going to get y'all that number before we get off this live feed, because I want y'all to know how many millionaires are on there. And the only way to become a millionaire is to connect with other millionaires. So market research, know yourself, do your market, get your budget together. Can you afford it? Do you have a savings? Entrepreneurs, don't go out here penny broke. I ain't saying you got to be balling, but a savings is going to be important. It's going to be bumps, things that come up that you're not prepared for. You want to make sure you have the money, or at least have a good support system where, you know, if you fall short, you got somebody that got your back. For real. Then from there, you go into your business plan. That's basically telling you how you going to structure your business, how you want it to run, what did you want it to look like. What Kristen said earlier, going into what your customer would look like. That's important to know, because you need to know who you're selling it to so you can know how to market it. Then after that, you put that thing on the market and take care of your foundational legal responsibilities, registration, and you guys, you can literally have a business if you have the will and way in 30 days. And I do have a digital ebook, How to Start a Business in 30 Days, that you could buy that includes all of these steps. It shows you step by step how to start your business, take it from the vision phase. It shows you how to create a budget, how to do your competition, how to do a business plan, everything you need to literally get your business off the ground. You can do it in 30 days. So make sure you check the comment section and get that URL. Click on it. I also have a webinar coming up on Saturday, August 29th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's for anybody who is an aspiring entrepreneur. You're thinking about it, you got a business, but you don't know whether to jump or not. For only $17, we'll do a whole webinar session for 2 hours where we'll go over your business idea and how to see if you are ready for that business. And from there, we'll give you the action steps to go ahead and start transitioning your business idea into a real business. So check the comment section, and we're going to roll into our next question. Miss Kristen, I want to ask, so with you being in the minority certification field, can you tell us first, like, why do you feel like minority businesses are so important? Like, why is it so important that they get certified, or that, you know, that they get that pool of government contracts?
Absolutely. So it is so important that more Black-owned and women-owned businesses get certified so that governments know that we exist, right? So that they can set their goals higher. The goals that are set on these contracts are based off of the pool of available businesses. And so the number of Black-owned businesses in this country, it gets higher and higher and higher, and it grows day by day. But in order to get on the government's radar, you are going to have to certify yourself as a minority business enterprise, and that is MBE. And so whenever you see the acronym, you know, MBE, MWBE, I'm going to get into that a little bit more, but it's just important because so we are in the middle of a pandemic right now, and our government, not gonna lie, is pretty much failing us. But you know what they're doing? They're spending money. They're spending tax money because they have to in order to keep our economy going, in order to keep our services going. And a lot of these COVID-19 testing centers and information campaigns and awareness campaigns are government sponsored, which means they're hiring private vendors. A lot of Black-owned vendors are getting money in order to set up these testing centers and these awareness campaigns. And so when you increase the pool of available businesses, you increase opportunities for everyone. And that's why I think it's so important to go ahead and get certified. I don't know the exact number, but the number is in the trillions in terms of government spending on private vendors year after year. And that's not only at the federal level. At the federal level, it's in the trillions. At the state and local level, it's in the billions in terms of spending for vendors. And then I'm just going to put this up here. This is pretty low tech, right? But whenever you see the acronyms HUB, that's your historically underutilized business, SBE, small business enterprise, MBE, minority business enterprise, and then MWBE is minority women business enterprise. And if you fall into any of these categories, then I need you to go ahead and go to the state of North Carolina website, which I didn't write down, but I should have wrote down. It's the Secretary of State website, and go on there. You can DIY all of this, okay? And it's free. It's time consuming, and it's tedious, and it's a little confusing, but it's absolutely free to get certified. So I'm gonna start there, and then the next thing I'm gonna tell y'all is, okay, even after you get certified, where do you find contract opportunities? There's this term RFP, request for proposal. And so that is when a government entity requests businesses or companies, they request that you submit a proposal for their project. And the city of Charlotte has ongoing RFPs. Mecklenburg County has ongoing RFPs, bid opportunities. I'm going to use those words interchangeably. Bid, RFP, contract. I use those pretty, interchangeable. But the one place that I like going the best is this website right here. This is the North Carolina Interactive Purchasing System. You're going to go to ips.state.nc.us, and you can search for contracts based off of the keyword. So if you do marketing, you can look for marketing. You can search for contracts based off of a location. So if you only want to work in Charlotte or Raleigh, you can search by location, or you can search by the type of government level. So the state handles all different kind of agencies. State agencies include colleges, community colleges, universities, cities, towns, roads, NCDOT, roads, bridges, all kind of transportation stuff. So there's really just so many opportunities out there. And governments buy everything, okay? They buy any. I think I saw an RFP for, I think they're doing like voting machines now. So they want somebody to actually come in and clean and disinfect all of the voting machines. I saw an RFP for like branded swag, you know, any kind of anything really.
Come on, any cleaning company?
Cleaning company.
Got an RPF out there to wipe down and sanitize these voter machines. Go ahead and see.
Absolutely. Janitorial.
Right. If you do it right, you'll be on there to where, you know, they'll use you ongoing.
Mm-hmm. What's going on with this speaker?
But, thank you so much, Kristen, for sharing those things, those things, and just having an opportunity to come on, talk it out this Wednesday. Super excited to have you. This conversation was so engaging, and like, I learned stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know about that website when you look up government opportunities. So I'm excited to get on there and learn about that. And I want you to kind of close out and let us know how we can do and some of the services that you offer.
Absolutely. So I have two different websites. My main consulting website is amplifycharlotte.com. And so if you want to work with me and hire my team to conduct some community engagement for you, or you want to hire my team to conduct some feedback, Civics 101. We've been doing a lot of that lately with the election coming up. If you want to understand how local government works, I have a decade-long experience in local government, so I can educate you just on the overview of how government works. Or if you're more interested in getting certified and you're interested in understanding contracts, I have this other website, getlocalgovernmentcontracts.com. All right, and that's really just a resource hub. It's a resource hub where you can go on and you can read the blog posts. You can email us and ask specific questions. And I also have a done for you service. And the done for you service is really for companies that are a little bit more established, like companies that are already in their business for between 2 to 10 years, and they already have clientele, except for they haven't done any government contracts. They're leaving money on the table with government contracts. So the done for you service is basically, I will hold your hand the whole time through the certification process, and we are going to streamline it and we're going to get it done quick. Yep, exactly. Again, I'm going to be completely honest with folks. Getting certified is free. You can DIY, but in order to when you hire me, I basically get it done faster. I get my client certified within 90 days. And I know that still sounds like a long time, but it can take a long time.
Real life, that's good time.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for allowing me to do that. Please do, if anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Definitely. And I just wanted to go over that website real quick about how to learn how to get government contracts. getlocalgovernmentcontracts.com. Yeah. I'm going through some branding stuff right now. I might try to shorten the URL, but I was just like, oh, this is exactly what it is. So that is exactly what it is. You were direct. Yeah. But I appreciate you guys. You can check the links. If you're looking to go ahead and start that business, consulting is available. You can also pick up the ebooks if you're a self-starter, self-motivated. You kind of can do it on your own. Definitely pick up an ebook. Check out our webinar next week, our virtual workshop on the 29th. If you're an inspired entrepreneur and you're ready to turn that idea into a business, I can help you do it. We can do it as quick as 30 days, but I'm here to to help you, support you. I'm trying to get as many Black businesses started as possible, and I want to get you started the right way with a strong foundation, so that way when you do reach your success, you don't have to backtrack like I see so many of us doing. You can just keep moving forward to greatness. We can do it together. I'm here for the squad. I said the squad. I'm here for everybody. But thank you so much, and good night.